everybody. I don't think I'm ever going to get used to that. The no lead in, nothing, just hit a record button and then it just starts on Zoom. So here we are. It's Jared and Bob. You're listening to Sarcasm Speaks or watching if you're on YouTube. Hopefully, well, I know for a fact we won't have any blur issues or focus problems with this episode because we're on Zoom. I don't have the camera. I looked at it. It was like a solid like 12 minutes, which in the grand scheme of things, that was like a 2-hour long episode. So 12 minutes, whatever, doesn't really matter. But it was started at like, I think right around like 8 or 9 minutes, and then it lasted until like 21 minutes.
Forgot we spoke for that long.
Yeah, it was weird. It didn't feel like 2 hours. It was like I got sucked into like a vortex. So right out of the gate, I got something that's near and dear to me, at least. But it just was released. I think it was today. Not today when people are listening to this, but today when we are talking. Medina Spirit, the horse that won the Kentucky Derby that I won money on, failed a drug test. So we'll see what happens. He has been, let me see. The horse's trainer, Bob Baffert, has been indefinitely suspended from entering races at Churchill Downs, where the Derby is held. If the findings of the drug tests are upheld, Mandaloon, the horse that came in second, will be declared the winner. This will not affect bets placed on the 2021 Kentucky Derby, which to me is the most important part. So your bets are not doomed. So anyone that won money on Medina Spirit, you're good. Anybody that bet on Mandaloon, I'm sorry. You can be pissed, but I'm still happy. I'm pleased. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think I don't know what's going to happen. I saw this little quick thing that Bob Baffert came out, because again, he's like one of the best trainers like ever in horse racing. And he kind of came out and was like, hey man, like, you know, I'm not saying I necessarily believe in conspiracy theories, but like, I don't know, something seems fishy here. So essentially he thinks it's bullshit, or more importantly, or more appropriate, horse shit. He thinks the whole thing is a bunch of horse shit.
Boo. Boo.
And yeah, so I don't know. It'll be interesting kind of to see what happens. I don't know if I truthfully don't follow horse racing close enough to know if someone who's ever won the Kentucky Derby has failed a drug test. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's been horses that have failed, but not the ones that have won, you know?
I just hope the horse has to hold a presser talking about how they took a supplement that they thought was approved.
Yeah.
It had an ingredient in it that they didn't know about, and that's what they tested positive for.
Well, it was probably the tacos that, you know, they ate when they were in Mexico. Because everyone knows Mexican tacos have clenbuterol in them. Yep. That's why Mexicans are so skinny, right? Because they're all on clen.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the drugs. It's definitely not lack of food and extreme poverty.
Yeah, no. Everyone knows that. Yeah. That's like every single Mexican boxer that ever tests positive for drugs. They're always like, yeah, no, it's weird. I just ate some tacos when I was in Mexico. It's like, okay. That was Canelo's thing like a few years ago. Well, it could be more like 5 or 6 plus at this point. But Canelo failed a drug test. He tested positive for clen. And he was like, yeah, no, I must have been some tacos that I had when I was back home in Mexico. It's like, okay, buddy.
Isn't it like a thing though? Mexicans don't even eat tacos.
Yeah, it's that's like an Americanized thing. It's like Tex-Mex.
Go figure.
Yeah. But so we get that to follow, I guess, in the world of sports, because, we don't have enough to follow.
Yeah, it's gonna be dumb because anyone that had a different horse is gonna be pissed that their bet lost. But I don't know what you're supposed to do at this point.
Yeah, there's really nothing you can do. I don't know. It's unfortunate. It kind of sucks that Bob Baffert's indefinitely suspended from entering a horse in Churchill Downs because, again, he's one of the best to ever do it. But I don't know. Maybe it won't hold up, and maybe it won't be that big of a deal. But I'm just, like I said, I'm most excited that I don't have to give my money back. So fuck you, my bookie. I can keep my money. So make sure you all go to mybookie.com as an appreciation to sports books not taking back their money. You want to go to mybookie.com, and when you sign up, you want to use our promo code SarcasmPod, and that'll get you a 50% match on your first deposit up to $1,000. So you deposit $1,000, they give you $500. You deposit $100, they give you $50. So whatever you put in, they give you half as a free play, just literally free money. And then you can lose it all. Inevitably. Yeah, it was funny. Like when I told you the other day that I signed up for a different online sports book that shall not be named because they're not sponsors on this show and we don't do free ads. And you're like, oh yeah, what's the payout like? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm not going to win enough money to ever request a payout.
Yeah, it's the most valid point I've heard. Because like part of the reason I didn't want to go with Bet Online was that it's too hard to get a payout, but I'm sitting here worried about a payout when it's like really not an issue at all.
Yeah. Like even right now, like I've been on a heater the last month. Let me see. Let me pull up my Action Network stats real quick.
The slowest app ever.
Yeah, so you guys can follow me on Action Network, and you can get all my picks. Of course, now that I say that, I am currently on pace to go 0-3 for the day. No one can see that on Zoom, but you can see the little red dots. Red dots are not good. But in the last 7 days, I am 25-9 plus 17.2 units. So I am on what they call in the biz is a heater right now, which means I am about to get really cold. And that could be starting today.
1-3 seems like a good way to start it.
Yeah. So I got 5 bets rolling right now, and I'm projected 0-3 currently. So yeah, not looking too good right now. But that's one of the things, like, even though I'm up, a couple $100, like that's still not enough to request a payout. You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do? I'm just going to end up spending that money in other ways. So I'll just leave it in my account. If it ever gets up to like, I don't know, if I ever had like over like $500, I'd probably withdraw like, I don't know, 250. I'd take out half, and then just gamble away the other half, and then eventually have to make another deposit. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where even if I got up to like
spinning it around.
Yeah. Even if I had like $600 that I won, and I took out, and again, I pulled out half in 300, eventually I'm going to lose all of that 300, whether it's, in 2 months or 6 months or a year. And then I'm going to have to make another deposit. Like the money's going to come back in at some point. So fuck it. Like I said, unless I get like a huge win where I win like hundreds of dollars, which isn't really probably ever going to happen because I really don't bet more than $20 at a time. Just don't see it happening. But yeah, that's a long way to say I'm a loser.
No, it's a long way to say that the withdrawal methods are really irrelevant.
Yeah, that it doesn't matter to me because I don't care. Something that it kind of matters a little bit more. Maybe we'll get a little spicy on this one. Is our buddy Dr. Anthony Fauci is back in the news. So the latest that he's got now for us is that now this fucking guy, you want to talk about, like, he's supposed to be a scientist, right? Like, he's supposed to be, I don't know if he is the head. I don't think he's the head of the CDC. But he's the head of what, I don't even, what, do you know what his job title is?
I was about to just look it up.
I just Googled Dr. Fauci job title. He's the director of the National Institute of Health. Oh, National Institute of Infectious Diseases, allergies. Oh, there's so many of these.
Chief medical advisor to the president is the big one.
Yeah. But he's also the director of the National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Disease.
Sounds made up.
Yeah, that sounds fake. That sounds like I gave myself a job title. Like, what do you want to be?
Been there since 1984.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm sure he's really up to date on his schoolings and his learnings.
He looks okay for 80 years old, though.
Yeah, yeah. No, he does look all right. So
he is also an MD.
Yeah. So this fucking guy, you want to talk about, like, right? So that's what I was saying. He's supposed to be a scientist. He's supposed to be a doctor, like, whatever. You would think. Now, I recognize that not every person is perfect and not everyone can stay absent of politics for everything. But you would think someone who is in the science world would be a lot more apolitical than this fucking dickhead, because it seems like at every turn he is ready to give some sort of, like, political hot take, or some hot take that is politically driven. You know what I mean? Like, remember at the very beginning of this whole thing, he was like, yeah, no, don't wear a mask. Masks don't do anything. It doesn't matter. And then all of a sudden it was, well, yeah, well, obviously you have to wear a mask. And then it was literally, what, 2 months ago? We're talking like maybe less than that, maybe less than 8 weeks ago. He said, well, maybe you should think about wearing 2 masks, right? 1 mask is good. 2 masks is great. Well, you know what he just said recently, within the last week, the last couple of days, actually?
3 to 5, 5 to 8.
5 to 8 masks. No, actually, you ready for this one? Hold on to your fucking pants. Dr. Anthony Fauci told ABC News that as more Americans begin to get vaccinated, the CDC needs to, quote, start being more liberal on its mask guidance. Fauci indicated that the federal guidance on masks in wearing indoors could be updated very soon. Buddy, literally within 8 weeks ago, you told us that we should probably wear 2 masks, even if you are vaccinated, right? That was the whole meme. That was the whole big thing of 2 shots, 2 masks. Like, if 1 mask is good, 2 masks is great. Like, all these memes that have come out in the last month or two is because he came out and said, yeah, even if you get vaccinated, you should still wear a mask. And in fact, you should probably wear 2 masks because it's better. Well, fast forward to, I don't know, today. And it's, now that more people are getting vaccinated, we should probably, readdress this whole mask wearing situation. Guy, what are we doing? Like, if there are people that still wait and wait at this guy's like every beck and call, and they're like, well, we have to wait for Dr. Fauci. We have to wait for Fauci. We have to see what Fauci says. We have to follow what Fauci, because there are people like that. I know, because I work with them. But like, these people, like, are you devoid of any type of independent thought? Or are you just like totally bought into like groupthink and you just want to become like a hive mind?
I don't know what people's deal is. So this weekend, I met a bunch of people in Michaela's family.
Mhm.
And I actually heard, and this guy actually is, I don't even think she knows this. She probably wasn't listening. It's just me. But I actually had to hear someone say, paraphrasing his thoughts, that, well, China and the other Asian countries, ever for the last like 20 years, they've been wearing masks when they leave the country, masks on planes, masks outside, like social distancing, blah, blah, blah. Like they've been doing it for a long time. They've pretty much eradicated everything. And, if we could just be more like, China and Asia, like we might be able to eradicate most diseases. I had to hear someone say that.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Why
If
the
we just
fuck would we ever want to be like China?
if we
In
just
what
had a
scenario?
tyrannical government and had birthing laws that restricted everybody to one child,
That's what I
and
mean. Is
then
like throw out your babies. You
and
want
then
two
found
babies?
one
Nope, you get
area.
one.
So it would be like Texas, essentially. So like our Hong Kong would be Texas, and then we would just like oppress the shit out of Texas. Except in
we
this
wouldn't,
in this
because
country, it wouldn't work because Texas would then turn around and kill everybody.
yeah, Texas would be oppressing us.
Yeah, yeah. But like, we should be more like China. No, probably
Yeah.
not.
In the other Asian countries.
I would, I would turn around and be like, oh, actually, yeah, maybe we could. Oh, by the way, how do you feel about, prevailing wages? How do you feel about the $15 federal minimum wage? And I guarantee it would be like, well, it's a must. People can't survive on anything less than that. Oh, well, are you aware that in China and the other Asian countries, they pay their workers less than $1 an hour? Do you want to be more like that or not?
Do you want your children to make our shoes?
Yeah.
That can be arranged.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to reinstitute child labor? And by the way, slave labor, because they do that over there.
Oh, no, not China.
Well, technically that is, I'm sorry, I overstepped. They're not slaves because they do get paid, but they are people that are arrested, and they they're labor camps. They have this. It is what they have labor camps. So people that get arrested. There's a story that I heard. I forget, one of the podcasts I was listening to recently was a guy that talked about a story of a Chinese national student that was a student at some university in the US. Doesn't matter which one. Let's call it Brown because it's Ivy and it's close to us. So she's a student at Brown, and this university has its own VPN network. So its own virtual private network or virtual protected network. I don't know, whatever the fuck VPN stands for, but they have their own like intranet, essentially. Like we had at Bridgewater, its own little thing that lives in its own world, but it's separate. It's not mass worldwide internet. So she was home in China and she logged into her school's VPN to submit her homework. Well, wouldn't you know, by the end of the day, there was a knock on the front door and it was the Chinese government. And they said, are you such and such, whatever her name is? And she goes, yeah. And they go, come with us. Well, fast forward 2 years, and she finally was released from a forced labor camp because she submitted her homework on a VPN in an American school while she was in China. I don't know her full story. I don't remember it, but it was just part of a larger conversation that they were having. But she was locked up for violating some sort of internet rights, whatever, in China, was part of a forced labor camp, worked for whatever, like $1 an hour, for 2 years. And then when she was let out, she had to work like hard to get a visa back and a passport because the government didn't want to give her a passport. She somehow makes it back to the United States and she goes back to whatever school she was in. and they essentially tell her to go fuck herself because she was MIA for 2 years and she didn't pay her bills. She had defaulted on her like credit cards and her student loans because she just disappeared for 2 years and she couldn't pay anything because she was in a prison camp. And it was like this whole big thing. And I think she did a whole piece. She worked with someone who wrote a whole piece in the New York Times. Excuse me. Or they like wrote a book or something. I don't know. But yeah. But we want to be more like that.
Yeah, because they've eradicated disease, dude.
Yeah. Yep. We need to be more like China. Sick.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
we definitely need more smog, I will say.
Yeah. We should probably be more like LA. More homeless people and more smog.
Yeah, that'll get us closer to China.
Yeah. Well, LA is just ahead of its time then.
Yeah.
If we need to be more like China, I mean LA is pretty much there.
Almost.
Yeah.
They're pretty close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude, they've eradicated disease. So we should follow their lead with wearing masks.
Yeah.
Never mind that this fucking thing came from there, but whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
They did
We should
such
be
a
more
good
like
job.
them.
They did such a good job eradicating it that this is where it came from.
They don't have disease in China anymore because they all wear masks and stay the fuck away from each other. Never mind that every Chinese person I've ever met's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like, or a degenerate gambler. That's all they are.
Yeah, that's true too.
Assholes.
Yeah.
You're right. We should be more like the fucking Chinese who spend all their money at the fucking Pai Gow table and sit there chain smoking. God knows what the fuck they buy. I don't even know. Like, I don't think you can buy them anywhere.
It's like they smoke hand rolled cigarettes.
Yeah, by like some guy that's in a forced labor camp.
He probably.
Like that's his forced labor is to roll fucking cigarettes.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like unfiltered.
Oh yeah, unfiltered.
Like if you thought 120s were long, you should see 240s. Like I'm a fucking Michael Jordan cigar.
Oh yeah, holy shit, that thing was fucking huge. Because then you also remember too, like he's a big dude. That's what like I told someone like that cigar. They're like, oh my god, that cigar is so big, and I go, yeah. By the way, that's Michael Jordan. Like, how big do you think his hands are? And that looks big in his hands. Like that thing is probably almost as long as my fucking forearm.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like my fucking leg.
Yeah. Like Michael Jordan is 6'8". Like he's got to have, I don't know.
He must have huge hands.
He's got to have at least what, like 14-inch hands? What do they do in the NFL? What do quarterbacks have? What are they, 12, 13 inches?
Well, I think Joe Burrow's career was over because it was only 10, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Michael Jordan's got to have at least 13 or 14-inch hands. And he was holding that cigar that looked big in his hands.
Yeah.
Thing probably weighed like 2 pounds. Just 2 pounds of tobacco.
Yeah, it's like a fucking Cheech and Chong blunt.
Yeah. Oh, man. Or like fucking, what was that? Scary Movie 2? When they try and roll up a massive blunt. It's like a human-sized blunt. I don't know.
Vaguely. Scary Movie 2 wasn't bad. I just don't know why I don't remember much of it.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those movies like you watched a bunch when you were like, 17 and then you never watched it ever again.
Yeah. Because then it's like, oh yeah, no, this is fine, but it's really not that good.
Yeah. I forget what I was going to say after that. I had something else to follow up on that, but it's gone forever. Yeah, I don't know. Just that Fauci's a dickhead, I guess.
Well, what do you say? We can start loosening stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I just don't see us ever getting out of this.
Well, I mean, if the great Fauci says that we can start loosening restrictions on masks, then that means everything is fine. And that means we're going to get through it because we have to wait for Fauci.
I think people only listen to him when he's being conservative regarding the virus. If he starts to switch, I think people will fucking sell him right up the river.
I don't think so, man. I think people are literally dialed into whatever the fuck he says. I work with these people. I've sat in meetings with HR people, and they're like, yeah, well, Dr. Fauci says. That was the whole thing when the vaccines first came out. Someone literally said, well, Dr. Fauci said that we don't know if you get the vaccine, you might still be able to carry the virus. And it's like, okay, well, then we found out that wasn't the case. And then it's like, well, Dr. Fauci says this, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, why do you care? Why do we care what one fucking dickhead says? You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
dude, he's the assistant to the regional manager or whatever.
Yeah. I want to know how long he has been what did you say he was, the medical advisor to the president?
So I looked it up. So our guy Fauci's chief medical advisor to the president.
Yeah.
Want to know who created that position?
Donald Trump, probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
And some guy was in for the year of 2019. There was nobody starting in December 2nd, 2019 until Inauguration Day. Starting Inauguration Day, it's Fauci.
Yeah. So Fauci, also Fauci is Trump's guy. I thought we hate Trump. I thought we're never Trumpers, right? Anything that Trump does, we never support.
He's Biden's guy.
Well, he was appointed by Trump.
No, he was appointed by Biden. Inauguration Day this year.
Yeah, but Fauci's been around for a year.
Yeah, but he wasn't chief medical advisor until January.
Yeah, but we were following, like, he was the guy. You know what I mean? Like, he was the guy.
No, he was just some dickhead. That's the problem.
Yeah, he is a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, but he wasn't chief medical advisor for the last year.
So then why was he on TV all last summer?
Because he's like the head of the NAIA, intramural club sports or whatever.
Yeah. Intramural diseases.
Non-NCAA, NAIA or whatever.
Yeah, the invitational tournament. He's the director of the NIT, the invitational.
Yeah, no, he wasn't chief medical advisor to the president until Inauguration Day this year. And no one was it since December 1st, 2019. It's not a real position.
No, it's stupid.
I guess Fauci's been like hanging. Dude, it might be like the Red Sox poet laureate, where he's not actually employed by the Red Sox. Like Dick Flavin does not work for the Red Sox.
Right. It's like a self-appointed
Red
position.
Sox poet laureate.
Yeah.
Like Fauci may have been like the White House, whatever.
Yeah.
Because it says he goes back to like hanging out with like Reagan, and he's been like advising every president since then. But I don't know if it was ever an official appointment.
Yeah.
So it's like he could walk into the White House. They might let him in, but it's like he ain't on White House staff, or he ain't in the cabinet.
Right. Huh.
So who is he? I don't fucking know. Just some idiot.
He's Milton.
Don't listen to. Because he's the head of the.
He's more like Milton, the fucking toast maker, than Milton, the guy with the stapler in the basement.
It's just like, and we all listen to everything he says.
Yeah, that's what I mean. People are fucking head over heels over this fucking dickhead.
But I don't know. I find that at least at work with the people I work with, they don't listen. Everyone thinks he's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, not everyone I have is fucking hard, right?
Yeah, but those are still.
They're older people.
Yeah.
Like parents.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a very clear picture into the other side, if you will, because it's literally everybody I work with. There's people. Like I think I've told the stories on here. Like there's someone at work that like on their Zoom name, like if you guys are watching right now and you see my name on the bottom of the screen and then you see cunt over there, it's like, it would be like cunt parentheses fully vaccinated. Like that's a real thing that happens.
My name
yeah. You're going to change it to cunt unvaccinated in parentheses. Like these are real things that happen in real life like there have been a lot of things that have been said that I'm like, I don't understand this. Like we were supposed to hire a new person to run the school. And we had it down to two people. One was both qualified, right? We had a pool of like 10 people that applied, and we narrowed it down to two, right? So both of them are very qualified, right? You know, you're not going to get someone to the final two if they're not qualified.
Unless your hiring process sucks.
Well, yeah, no, but so one of them was a black female and the other one was a white male. There were multiple people that I observed and heard them say they better not hire the white guy or there's going to be problems. So this is the type of environment, the type of people. Like I said, I have a very clear picture into the quote other side and how they think. And these are the type of people that are also we have to wait for Fauci. Got to wait to see what he says. You know, I don't know if I should be able to leave my house today because Fauci didn't tell me to, you know, I mean, Fauci says to do this, so I have to do it. It's just, what a fucking world. I can't imagine, like, I don't know. I can't figure out whether that would be really good or really bad because like that level of ignorance, like, I don't know if it is based off of, I don't know what it is really, to be honest, because it could be like extreme ignorance and just bliss. You know what I mean? Like you're just incapable of independent thought. So you just live and you don't know any better. So it doesn't piss you off. Or like you're totally bought in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what end of the spectrum it is.
Until now, because it's whatever psychological term is for just going with whoever agrees with you. So far,
confirmation bias.
What is it?
Confirmation bias.
Yeah. So far, this guy has aligned just about everything that these people think.
Yeah.
Now he's starting not to. I'd be very curious to see if they flip just as quickly, because I think, if nothing else, everyone has become a fucking expert in everything in the last year.
Well, yeah, everyone went to Facebook medical school.
Right. And everyone's so set in their ways that they've put in a lot of fucking work into what they've framed themselves 1 year later. And just because Fauci flips, I don't know, man. They might bail on him. Like he betrayed them. Hey man, you betrayed us. I just wonder. No, I don't know. And I'm not, that's not a prediction. I'm curious to know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some people will. I mean,
obviously it will, because someone's going to be sitting there and they're going to be like, we shouldn't be doing anything. We need to pay people to stay home.
Well, it's fear porn. We've said it before. And people talk about it.
8 to 12 masks at once.
Yeah. The whole pack, remember?
Yeah.
Just take the whole pack.
And then if Fauci turns on those people, some of them are going to sit there and go, he betrayed us. Fuck him.
Yeah. No, I mean, there certainly will be some people. But I would think the vast majority are going to follow whatever he says, because it's what they've been doing the entire time. And it just so happens that what he's been doing, like you said, has aligned with how they think they feel, or they're told they're supposed to feel, essentially, is more accurate. And then the whole thing about it is like, it's a slow progression too. Like he just came out and said, you know, the CDC should re-examine indoor mask wearing soon. You know what I mean? He didn't come out today and say, well, now it looks like everyone's vaccinated, so we're not going to have to wear masks anymore. He said, now that more of the population is getting vaccinated, I think the CDC should start to readdress some of their guidelines. And there should be new information on indoor mask wearing soon. So it was like, it's political. It's a fucking political statement. He said
dude, all this is about science, and
he said a bunch of
science.
stuff without actually saying anything. It's politics 101.
So here's a hypothetical. And I know it's not happening, but let's just say Charlie Baker wakes up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And some big business put a bunch of money in his pocket.
Yep.
And he comes out and says, I'm lifting all the state restrictions. Individual businesses can do what they want. I'm lifting everything.
So we're essentially Texas and whatever other states. New Hampshire.
What is it? Like
it's New Hampshire, Texas, Tennessee,
Alabama.
Yeah. I was going to say Wyoming, but I don't think they ever had a mask mandate.
Arizona. South Dakota outlawed that so long ago.
You can't lift a mandate when you never have one.
when you rule that the mandate was unconstitutional, there's nothing to lift.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just say that he does that tomorrow. Do you think that the people that you described, the people who listen to Fauci's every word, do you think that they would start to go back to normal life? Or would they sit at home waiting for Fauci to give them the okay?
No, they would sit at home and wait for Fauci. I would say the majority. So you would have some people that would be like, all right, cool, I can finally go do shit. But I think the majority of people would turn and be like, because it's exactly what they did when Texas announced it. They'd be like, oh, that's so irresponsible. I can't believe they're doing this. They're just going to lift a mask mandate now. Oh, how are we supposed to be protected? Like that's what it's going to come. That's what it would amount to. And again, you're going to have a small segment of the population that has been COVID crazy. Like you will get some people that are COVID crazy that are like, all right, well, mask mandates have been lifted, so that must mean it's safe. But like I said, I think the majority, so at least 51%, would be, oh my God, this is insane. This is ridiculous. This is so irresponsible type of bullshit.
But would it be because, whatever, I don't care anymore. I was going to say, it's like, because people like,
no, people like the fear. And at this point, everyone has Stockholm syndrome. So everyone has begun to enjoy the pain, essentially, the fucked upness of the world. People are like, oh yeah, this is fun. But, it's because all they get to do now is sit on fucking Twitter all day and watch all the crazy shit, and they don't have to go to work because they make more money on unemployment than they did working. So now they're like, oh, this is fucking awesome. And then someone will be like, well, it's time to, get the world back. You can't do that. You can't get the world back. It's too dangerous out there. Well, everyone's getting vaccinated. Well, I personally don't feel safe. Well, it's like, all right, well, you really, it's, it's like, well, we railed on the teachers, however long ago it was, that most teachers, were bitching. This was probably around Christmas time, when they were announcing that places were going to start going full in person or hybrid, whatever it was. I don't know. There was a switch coming and teachers were bitching, saying it's not safe. And it's like, do you really think it's not safe? Or you just don't want to go back to work because you like teaching your class virtually from your fucking couch?
Or they liked only having to deal with half their kids.
Right, exactly.
That's what I've heard mostly.
Yeah.
Oh, so much easier when there weren't so many kids. Wow. Imagine that.
Yeah, there's a hot take.
I thought it was hard because you can't teach them virtually.
Yeah.
I thought the problem was virtual. I thought that was the issue.
Right.
Not the amount of kids.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Well, the good news in all of this, in the world news, I got good news and bad news. I'll start with the bad news. Bad news is that rocket from China fell down from space, and it did not hit me. So
yeah, it didn't blow my head through my asshole.
Yeah. It didn't turn me into fucking dust. So that's kind of unfortunate. It landed in the Indian Ocean, so it's very anticlimactic. Might have killed like a whale or something. I don't know, and I don't really fucking care either. So that's the bad news. The good news, however, is Israeli. Yeah, the type of the descriptive, the adjective of the country, Israeli. Israel and Palestine are about to blow each other up again.
Let's go
for like the millionth time.
Let's go. It's been a while, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much.
So Trump is out of office, and the Middle East is falling apart.
Yeah, they can't play nice anymore.
Yeah, I think he might have been like literally the only president in the history of the United States. I'm not going to fact check that either. I'm just going to go with it. That had gotten 5 peace deals written in the Middle East in a 4-year term. That's got to be a record. I don't know if anyone had
Rodman
5.
To Kim Jong-un or
yeah.
Or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, he was the Dennis Rodman to the Middle East. So now he's gone. So now Hamas, the Palestinian militant group.
Dude, it's pronounced hummus.
Yeah, Hamas.
It's ground chickpeas.
Yeah. So the ground chickpeas have fired. So I feel like sausage party. Like I just got like an image of like chickpeas like firing rockets. So Hamas fired dozens of rockets into Israel today, actually.
Let's go.
Yeah. Israel then responded with multiple airstrikes on the Gaza Strip. Gaza health officials say the strikes left 9 dead, including 3 children, which not ideal. Definitely don't want anybody really to die, let alone children. But
dude, it's the Middle East. That place is fucking fucked.
But
people are gonna die, dude.
You want to talk about big dick swinging? This Netanyahu guy, the prime minister of Israel, he's got to have a fucking piece on him, because he goes, the terror organization in Gaza crossed a red line when they fired missiles into Jerusalem. So how this? I'll break it down slowly for people because that was kind of quick. Palestinian group is Hamas. So Hamas fires rockets into Israel. Israel fires rockets into Gaza, which is, for lack of a better word, Palestine. It's a Palestinian territory. There is no country of Palestine, but whatever. So Israel retaliates, fires back into Gaza, and then that kills the children and all that shit. So after Israel fired these rockets into Gaza that ended up killing 9 people and 3 children, the prime minister of Israel goes, the terror organization in Gaza crossed a red line when they fired missiles into Jerusalem. Israel will retaliate strongly. This current confrontation could take some time. Like, holy shit. You think that guy's got to wheel his balls around in a fucking wheelbarrow in front of him? He literally just authorized an airstrike that killed a bunch of kids and goes, yeah, they're the ones that crossed the line and we're going to retaliate. And this is going to take a little while. So there's that. Like I said, good news that we could be looking at a nuclear winter pretty soon. Wouldn't that just fucking suck? Like that would be so typical. Like just such a fucking dickhead human way to go out. We were locked down for an entire year of 2020. And then we finally get to the point the following year in 2021 where it's going to be summer in most places and like nice. And the world is starting to reopen, right? The amazing Anthony Fauci announced that the CDC should, reduce their guidelines and they need to be more liberal about mask wearing. And then the Middle East just throws a bunch of nukes at each other. The whole world goes into nuclear winter and we all die.
Yeah, that would be a anticlimactic ending.
Yeah. Like that's That's like an M. Night Shyamalan ending. It's
Yeah,
like,
like
oh yeah,
wait for the twist, and then there just is no twist. It's just over.
yeah, it's just done. Yep, there you go. It's over. Just when you thought the world was gonna be good again. Nope.
It's never gonna be good again. That's the difference.
Well, was it good to begin with?
Probably at one point.
Yeah, in like the 1800s, maybe.
I don't know. Probably not then. Maybe the 60s. Maybe it peaked in the 60s.
Yeah, I would say.
Because there was no World War.
When was Woodstock? 69.
69, but that was during Vietnam, so you probably have to go right before Vietnam. But then you're kind of like fucking with the civil rights. Was there like a 1 year period between civil rights and Vietnam? Probably
I don't
not.
know. Probably not.
I feel like Martin Luther King got shot like late 60s.
Yeah, I think it was 1968. Well, I mean, if we're gonna pick a time period, I feel like America kind of peaked probably, late 70s.
1776.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We peaked in 1777 and it's been downhill ever since. No, I would say probably around like late 70s, early 80s. I feel like that was a good time. Like music was great. TV, I think, was okay. I don't know what was on TV then, but there was only 8 channels, so how could it not be good? You know what I mean? Like, you only have to fill 8 fucking channels. Like,
yeah,
you're good.
Gas shortage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I was also listening at the gym, and people were talking about how bad the 80s were. Someone was like, well, the 70s weren't much better. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. Well, the 90s were good, right?
I don't know.
We had Nirvana.
It couldn't have been that good because we were fucking born during it.
It's true.
That's a huge detriment.
Yeah. That's a big fucking shit stain.
Yeah, that's a real big black eye. It's like 2 black. That's like a broken nose that results in 2 black eyes.
There's not enough shout that can get rid of that shit stain. Or OxyClean. There is no amount of OxyClean.
Got to throw it out.
Yeah.
So if the 70s, 80s, and 90s sucked, again, the 60s were no fucking walk in the park. Like, you had civil rights, like the height of the Vietnam War. JFK got shot.
I don't know. Maybe the 20s. Were the 20s good?
Wasn't that the Great Depression?
Nah, that was like late into the 30s because there was the Roaring 20s.
When did World War I end?
1918, I think.
It ended in 18?
Yeah.
All right. So there might have been like a 3-year stretch.
From 1919 to like 1924. Well, because that was the whole thing. It was the Roaring 20s, right? Like, that's what they called it. Like, it was the great time. They beat prohibition and the alcohol was back and everyone was partying and it was all kind of like everyone was just in a good mood. Women couldn't vote yet. So, they had no rights. They didn't have to listen to them because their voice meant nothing.
Oh, yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.
When did prohibition end?
I want to say 1921.
Oh, no. It started in 1919.
Oh.
That's not good.
Yeah, and it went until 1933. Why the fuck do they call it the Roaring 20s then?
I mean, speakeasies and whatever, and like that cough syrup concoction that was like alcohol, cannabis, chloroform, and morphine.
Yeah, it needed more chloroform though. Imagine that. Imagine that, like cough syrup in like 1920 had all of that in it. Like it had fucking chloroform, cannabis. Was it codeine?
No, it was cannabis, alcohol, chloroform, and morphine.
Yeah. It's like I'd be like, I got a cough. I gotta go to the doctor.
Dude, I'm thinking maybe right after World War II. before you got into like
Yeah.
Cuban Missile Crisis, probably.
When was that? That was
Late
that was the
50s.
60s, wasn't it?
No, that was like late 50s, I think. Because JFK was still alive.
Yeah, but I thought he fucked it up, like the Bay of Pigs.
Yeah,
And
I think
he was elected president in 1960.
yeah, I think it was like
1962. It was in 1962.
What?
The
The Cuban
Missile.
Missile Crisis?
Yeah.
Didn't he die in 61? When the fuck did he die?
JFK? 63.
Yeah.
63. They shot him in 1963. November November or something. 22nd? November 22nd? Is that right?
All right, so maybe it was the 50s.
November 22nd. Yes, I got it right.
63?
Yeah, 1963. The CIA.
And then
They were pissed.
1964 was the last 64 was the last year they used silver in his fucking half dollars.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole thing. Everyone says that because JFK fucked up like royally on the Bay of Pigs invasion, which, you know, created the Cuban Missile Crisis and fucked over the CIA. And then the CIA hated him. And then he was also, I think, at the same time trying to like declassify a bunch of stuff. And so the CIA just killed him. Because they were like, yeah, don't fuck with us. We're the fucking CIA.
All right,
I mean,
yeah, so 60s. 60s
allegedly. Allegedly.
So maybe from like 1946 to like 1959.
I think the moral of this story is there hasn't ever been a good time.
I don't know, dude. Revolutionary War was pretty good.
Yeah. But there were slaves.
I mean, yeah, but there's been China still has them.
Yeah. All right. You know what? You know what really the best time in the United States was? Before anybody was here. In like
Actually, yeah, it was probably fine.
Like pre 1600s. Like any time before, because when was fucking Jamestown?
Didn't he sail the ocean blue in 1492? How did that go?
Well, yeah. Well, Columbus landed in fucking Barbados or Bermuda, wherever the fuck he was.
No, dude, he landed at Plymouth Rock.
But I think Jamestown was 1612. So I mean, think it was, dude,
if you drive around fucking East Bridgewater, they'll tell you they were fucking founded in like 1620.
Yeah.
Plymouth.
Jamestown, Virginia. It was 1607. Okay, that was close. But yeah, anytime prior to 1600 in this country, in the parcel of land that is North America before it was the United States, was probably the best time to be here. So we missed it.
I mean, you can but you can also like cherry pick too. Like, you know, again, Revolutionary War wouldn't have been that bad. I mean, I don't know. How do they feel about Italian immigrants? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't so good.
But technically, I'm not. But that's the thing, is like, that's my nationality. I'm not an immigrant. I was born. So
right.
I guess technically I would have. Oh, I would have been a British fuck.
I mean, I feel like we look at the Revolutionary War as like a cool time because we learned about it in a history book, but I feel like living through it would be fucking hell because they literally just had militias and it was like, oh, you're 12, here's a musket, go shoot the guys wearing the red jackets.
Sounds so bad about that.
I mean, realistically, not a lot, but like to be able to like live through it, like, it's like one of those, like if you get shot in like the arm, you're either going to die or lose your arm. Like there's no in between. Like you're not, Like you're either going to die from gangrene or they're going to cut your arm off.
Yeah, but at least you like live a purposeful life. Like if you're like one of the 7 people that has to go fuck up like 25 British dudes with snowballs and fucking sticks or whatever the fuck. Like again,
Yeah.
that's purposeful.
Yeah, and then 2 dickheads will talk about it on their podcast 300 years later.
They knew it. They knew it.
Yeah, the show that no one listens to.
They knew it would happen.
Yeah, that was their goal. That was their only dream in life.
Yeah. I know we're shitting in a hole right now, but one day
Yeah.
there'll be this thing called the internet that people will rely on because of a fake pandemic. We have smallpox. That's a real pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, I just I started following this account on Instagram. I forget what it's called, what the name of it is, but it posts like a bunch of like funny, well, I find them funny conspiracies. And one of them was there's supposed evidence of time travel. Because in the fight with I don't know who, I think it was Tyson and Spinks when they fought. There's a picture at one point during the fight, and someone is holding up in the crowd what looks like a smartphone. Like it's an entire crowd of people. So this is probably in the 70s, right? If it's Tyson, or maybe it was Ali. I don't know. It was either Tyson
Mike
or
Tyson fought in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, he was also in the 80s.
Late
So-
80s, early 90s.
Either way, the iPhone wasn't invented until 2008. So this was like decades before. And there's someone that like is holding what looks like a smartphone, and then like the debunkers, whatever, because then I started looking into it. And the debunkers are like, oh yeah, no, it's just a camera. And it's like a Canon XBY camera, whatever. And then like people would be like, yeah, here's a picture of that camera. You hold it like this, the long way. And in that picture, it was being held like the tall way. Like it was just like everyone was just like, yeah, man, like you're an idiot. And it also doesn't look like that. I gotta see if I can find it. I'll post it on the Instagram once our Instagram page, once I can find it. But I thought it was pretty funny, because then, like I said, I started reading into it, because that's what I do when I get bored. I look at conspiracies to keep myself entertained, and I go, huh, people actually believe this. But some of them, like that picture of an iPhone in the crowd, it looked more like an Android, but I don't know. I thought it was funny. I don't know what made me think of that either. Oh, because we're picking like decades or years that were good and not. I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, it does look like a smartphone, but
Oh, you found it? Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like that could be like any.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing about conspiracies. Is it could work. It could be true.
Oh, and then here's like what they think it is. It's a Fuji
Yeah, like one of those fucking things.
FX.
You know what else is pretty funny?
I love that.
Yeah. So I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast with like one of his guests. I forget the guy's name, but he worked in like a bunch of intelligence agencies in throughout like the past couple decades. And he goes, they were talking about aliens, and he goes, you know, they probably do exist. He goes, the United States government is now admitting that they have evidence of contact and things like that and all this stuff. And then the whole, like the one thing that stuck in my brain was, he goes, the thing that people say when they debunk alien stuff is that they look at the situation, and it's the whole point of this is because they have changed the name a million times. It's unidentified flying object, an unidentified aerial phenomenon. And the whole thing of it is that they don't know what it is, right? Like that's the whole point. That's what it stands for. It's a UFO, UAF, whatever the fuck they call them. And he goes, these people that debunk all of the alien stuff, they look at it like, well, it's just impossible to be that, so it can't be that. And then he goes, you never hear stories afterwards of, yeah, you know, it turned out that thing that we thought was a UFO that I definitely believe is not because it's impossible to be. Yeah, that ended up being Delta Flight, 9257. He goes, no one ever says that. Like no one comes back afterwards and goes and clarifies what it actually was. Like it remains unidentifiable. So he goes, I don't understand how these alien debunkers are so steadfast in their arguments when they haven't been able to provide alternative evidence. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we have this unidentified flying object in the air. We think it could be aliens. Well, that would mean that, there'd have to be contact, and that's impossible because we haven't heard of anything. So there's no way it's an alien. All right. So what was it? Well, I don't know. It's like, all right, well, you're a fucking loser. Or they go, oh, it was probably a plane. All right, well, which plane was it? Because the FAA keeps track of every single fucking plane and where it goes at all times. Which plane was it? Oh, well,
they didn't know about it.
Oh, there's no plane on record actually to be traveling in that area at that time. Fucking losers.
I'm a fucking loser.
Yes. Do you want to wrap this bitch up?
Yeah.
All right.
I got good news for the Brits.
All right.
UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson to okay hugs between households on May 17th.
Wow, thank God. Thank God people will be able to hug each other again. Thank God
we allowed to hug in the US? I didn't hear a press release.
Oh no, Anthony Fauci has said that we're probably never going to shake hands ever again.
I mean, I am okay with that. Mostly because I don't like people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really glad that we wait for, like a prime minister or a president or a fucking director of a fake health department that he gave his own title. I'm really glad we wait for those people to tell us that we can shake hands and hug people and, live normal lives.
So now the real hero in this tweet that came out not that long ago. Someone tweets, when can we start eating ass again? First comment. Picture of the kid from Shameless, the redhead.
Yeah.
Where it was like, you guys were wearing masks outside.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
You guys stopped eating ass. Second comment, I never stopped. Third comment, why did you ever stop? Then you can resume anytime you find a suitable willing ass. Oof.
The comment section in Twitter is one of my favorite places in the world.
Oh, it's so great.
It brings me great joy.
And yeah, it's all, oh God. Imagine that.
Yeah.
He's okaying hugs.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank God.
Yeah, I don't know where we stand on hugs.
Yeah.
We didn't get, I don't know if we got an official mandate.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not a big hugger anyway, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like most people. So again, no hug, no,
yeah.
no fucking, everyone get the fuck away from me.
Just leave me the fuck alone.
Just go away.
Yeah. Well,
are you vaccinated? I'll give you a hug. Nope.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Even if I was, I would lie. Be like, yeah,
that's
no.
a huge pro to not get it.
Yeah.
If people are gonna want to like fucking give me a hug, then
That, you know what? That just became my new excuse. So if someone at work goes, "Oh, are you vaccinated?" and I say no, and they try and shame me and be like, "Why aren't you vaccinated?" I'm going to turn around and be like, "Because I don't want people to hug me." I don't want people to fucking touch me. So there we go.
I don't
Stay
want to
away
shake
from
anyone's
me.
hands.
Yeah.
Hug anyone.
Oops, sorry, can't shake your hand. I'm not vaccinated.
You all to stay away from me.
Yeah. Stay the fuck away from me. All right. So I got more good news. This is a great good news show. This is awesome.
We have so much good news.
So much good news.
I hope everyone listening to this is like, wow, there's so much good news on here.
Yeah.
That I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm just so happy. I'm gonna have such a good day.
Yeah.
This helps so many people. I'm gonna adopt like 6 dogs.
So this actually is phenomenal news. And it's, again, near and dear to our hearts here because it has to do with Cape Cod. So
Cape of the Cod?
Yes, the Cape of the Cod. They have decided that this week, May 10th, right? May 10th. When does it start to get nice around here? It's usually by the end, like by the end of May, right? Yeah. 3 weeks from now. Yeah. Well, the ever-arching they have decided now is a good time to start construction on the Bourne Bridge.
Yeah, so at least they finished Sagamore.
And there's going to be 1 lane on the Bourne Bridge.
Yeah. I mean, there basically only is 1 lane.
Yeah, seriously. If you've ever driven on it, you know it's lined for 4 lanes, but it is a tight fucking squeeze.
Yeah, it's like a car and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put 4 across.
Yeah. So the Bourne Bridge is going to be down to 1 lane for construction. They decided to move ahead with the construction because they finished the Sagamore Bridge early. So they hadn't planned on having the Bourne Bridge construction start until this fall. So they finished Sagamore early. And instead of being like, hey, this might have just worked out in our favor. We don't have to have either of the only 2 bridges for the only 2 ways to get to Cape Cod. We don't have to have them under construction during the busiest time of the year that people go to Cape Cod. We finished Sagamore early. We're not scheduled to do Bourne until the fall. We just did Sagamore over the winter. We can do the Bourne next winter, not affect any major traffic pattern. No, nothing, no inconvenience, no ridiculous amounts of traffic. Nope. They go, you know what? We finished Sagamore early. What is it? May 10th? Yeah, fuck it. Let's start Bourne now. Let's not wait until November. Let's just get it done now. Jesus Christ.
They did start. So technically they did start late April. Like it's under construction now.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, people are gonna be going there. People are already going there.
Yeah.
I went a couple weeks ago and they would by no means was it busy down. Like by no means.
No.
But also there were human beings down there. Like some of the guys trying to get over to Woods Hole for golf was brutal.
Yeah.
You could adding like half hour, 45 minutes on like a drive. That's like a half an hour or 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys don't live that far away.
It's just fucking, it's insane. That just like that, like the thought process of it too is, oh, we finished Sagamore early. I know we weren't scheduled for Bourne until November, but fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it in May.
It'll be all fucking summer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Sagamore probably finished early. Bourne will take longer.
Yeah, well, now it's like they're not going to just be able to just do whatever they want. Like,
Right.
there's going to be other cars out there.
Right. Right. It's going to be an absolute shit show.
Yep. Plus, never mind, the Cape itself is going to be nuts. Like,
Oh,
people
yeah.
didn't really do a whole lot last year. Shit's opening up. People vaccinated. Like, it's going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah. 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 It's going to be fucking wild. This summer is like, they're saying it's going to be like revenge spending because no one could really do anything. So I don't fucking know, dude. There's people, I mean, I'm clearly just an idiot, but I feel like sometimes people are just morons.
Most people are, dude.
Yeah. Remember, everyone is someone else's idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I start with myself.
Well, yeah, I am paramount to that idiocracy.
Yeah, I'm my own idiot. And everyone else is an idiot.
Well, that is going to do it for us, folks. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment below. Tell everybody you know about the show. Keep spreading the word. Where are we now? Texas, California, Virginia, Maryland. There's like more in Maryland than normal. So I think Jones might have spread the word, which is what you guys need to do. Cause I can see like, normally like there's in a month, there'll be like 3 episodes released and it'll be like, oh, there's 3 downloads in Maryland. And I go, oh, that's Jones. But now there's like 8. And I'm like, oh, there's more people in Maryland that listen now. So it's got to be Jones because I don't know anybody else.
Brandy with it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, shout out to Brandy and Jones, friends of the show. So, yeah, there was another random state. Virginia. I don't fucking remember. Georgia, Florida. No, Florida. There was like 15 downloads from Florida when we only had like a couple episodes released. And I was like, what the fuck is this? But whatever. It's cool. Whatever. Shout out to all you Floridians out there that, don't have to wear masks and probably enjoy listening to us fucking bitch and complain. Subscribe wherever you're at. What if you're on Apple, if you listen on the podcast app, go to the iTunes store and leave us 5 stars, write a little review in there. Again, all that engagement helps with visibility and more people. So those 15 people or whatever, how many people found us in Florida, probably found us because you guys subscribe and spread the word and all that shit. So thanks. You can find us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We are on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. And the Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, goodbye.